I recently got new neighbors, and I don't say this lightly. They were a walking, screaming, thumping nightmare. From day one, it was chaos. Not just loud, but soul-crushing loud. Imagine bass so deep your windows tremble. Imagine lyrics so trashy, so aggressively vulgar, that even your walls feel violated. We're talking full-blast rap music outside every night, usually until 10 or 11 p.m. And I'm not trying to be judgmental about music taste, but this wasn't art. It was auditory assault. The kind of lyrics that scream violence, drugs, profanity, blasted by people who thought karaoke meant yelling into a mic with zero talent and less shame. But it didn't stop at night. They had kids too. And I swear I've never heard kids scream like that. Not normal playing or laughing. No, these were blood-curdling, headache-inducing shrieks that went on and on like some hellish alarm clock that never stops ringing. I started getting tension headaches. My sleep was shot. Even my dog was anxious. Every evening, I braced myself for another round of musical warfare. I tried being reasonable. I waited until around 10 p.m. one night, when the noise was especially bad, walked over, took a deep breath, and politely asked them if they could keep the volume down. They didn't even acknowledge me. Not even a no, just a glance at each other, then a smirk, then laughter, and I swear this is what broke me. They switched to another language and kept mocking me like I didn't exist. It wasn't just disrespect, it was dehumanizing. I felt powerless, invisible, a joke. That walk back to my house felt heavier than I can explain. I'd done the good neighbor thing. I'd asked, not yelled. I'd stayed calm, and I got laughed at like I was a bug on their windshield. And it wasn't the first time I'd let people walk over me. I've always been the one who stays quiet, keeps the peace, avoids conflict. The nice guy. But something in me cracked that night. That night, lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling, their bass vibrating in the walls. My fists clenched, my jaw locked. And then I remembered something. Those precious speakers they worship so much, they leave them outside, always, covered only by a cheap plastic bin, right up against our shared fence. And that's when the idea started blooming. I have sprinklers. And more importantly, I have aimable sprinkler nozzles. The next day I went out and adjusted my garden sprinklers. Two were pointed directly at the spot where they kept their speakers. One had a wide 180-degree sweep, just in case someone came snooping and needed a plausible explanation. I tested them, calibrated the water pressure, marked the timer. Midnight. Then I waited. 2 nights later, the music was as loud as ever. But I didn't knock. I didn't ask. I didn't even look out the window. I grabbed a long stick, went out to the fence, reached over just enough to knock the plastic bin off the speakers, and walked back inside. Midnight hit. The sprinklers came on. Direct hit. And friends, water, and expensive electronics, not best friends. The next day I was out back pretending to water the plants when I heard the yelling. The neighbors were furious, storming around the backyard, inspecting the now fried, probably expensive speakers. They saw me, and of course, they tried to come at me, shouting over the fence and swearing, accusing, but I didn't respond, not in English. I turned to my wife, smiled, and started speaking in fluent French, which I'd picked up over the years from her family. I laughed. She laughed. We clinked coffee mugs like it was a vacation in Provence. I didn't have to say anything. The message was clear. You mocked me in your language. Now I mock you in one you don't understand. From the peaceful silence of my backyard. God, I can't describe how good that moment felt. It wasn't just about the speakers. It was about finally standing up, reclaiming peace, reclaiming me. I used to be the guy who never stood up for himself, who let people walk all over him. But this changed something in me. Not just because I got revenge, but because I finally realized I deserve peace. And sometimes you have to take it back from the people who stole it. If this story gave you a little thrill or reminded you of someone who seriously needs a sprinkler to the face, go ahead and smash that like button. And I want to hear from you. What's your favorite act of petty or perfect revenge? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more spine-tingling justice every week. Until next time, stay petty, stay powerful,